Good evening, folks. Dr. Freedom here with the Times from Dr. News from in and around the universe. So fascinating, so amazing, so psychokinetic, pyrokinetic, telekinetic, every kind of kinetic there is, that you're going to go to the bathroom next time and think, wow, did Tesla have thoughts like this? Okay, so I'm shooting from the hip today because there's a lot of stuff drifting around. Like first off the bat, so far, the tentative scheduled time for the Doctor Who Christmas special, do I really have to tell you what day it is 5:30 p.m. UK time. Now, keep in mind, this is subject to change, but keep it in mind for now, okay? Now, another cool thing I wanted to bring up today also was, today, as you know, there's another petition going around, and this time it caught the eye of Robert Shearman. Anybody remember a little episode all the way back in Eccleston's first season called Dalek? Bob Shearman wrote this episode, and this is what he had to say. Now, if you read up here, it's another one of these jobs that basically, do we need to change the Doctor back to a male, to which Mr. Shearman had to say this. You're in luck, Mr. Paul. As someone lucky enough to have been a writer on the series, I can tell you they always let their creative decisions be swayed by online petitions formed in a spirit of ignorance and bile. Jodie's first appearance is set for broadcast in a little over 3 weeks. But they will, of course, sack her and refilm right now, according to your bigoted wishes. It's the way good television is always made. Thank God for you. So... it's kind of nice when you get the smackdown from like a guy who's written one of the most pivotal episodes in Doctor Who history. As far as I'm concerned, Dalek was like the episode of the early part of the renewed series. It was, oh man, it hit on all the chords. Okay, here's other good news. This was put out earlier today all over the place. Dominic Walker. Dear Dominic, you'll be pleased to know that Murray has just finished working on the music and the soundtrack for Series 9. Will be released shortly. Series 10 will follow that. I don't have the exact release date yet, but the deal is with Silva Screen, so they'll communicate them ASAP. Like you, we hold Murray in the highest esteem, and we're delighted his music can now be released. Thank you, thank you for your enthusiasm and support of Doctor Who, Murray, and the music. So, nice bit of reply there, because one of the big questions flying around is, when the hell is there going to be a Series 9 soundtrack? Me, I'm not a big soundtrack collector. I'm not a I'll pick up a little bit every now and then, but it's just been a big issue as to when they're going to finally release it. So weird stuff going on right there. Okay, now I got some more weird stuff coming up here, but sorry, I'm kind of working on the fly here. Okay, let's get this next one set up for you. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, now this might get a little spoilery. This is out of Radio Times, if I remember correctly. Elijah Kraling sent this to me. So let's go to what it says. Okay, spoiler alert. So if you've watched beyond this point, it's on your own head. Okay, so much so that in the Christmas special, when it starts, we have Hartnell and the original companions. Then it becomes David Bradley. So we say, here's the original one, here's our one, and oddly enough, don't they look similar? Now, Annika's character Polly is in it, and Annika herself is in it with the line, "Have you got no feelings?" The sets from the 10th planet, the Snowcat polar base, and the cyber ship have been impressively recreated. Now, if you've seen the photos drifting around, you've already know this has happened. In the finished cut, you only glimpse the polar base. The only thing that we do more or less in its entirety is when Ben and Polly get the Doctor out of his cage on the Cyberman spaceship, and he says it's far from all over. Now, it starts with the reprise of the 10th planet, and we do the previously on Doctor Who. And we follow the first Doctor out of that adventure, having left his companions Ben and Polly behind. So when it's the 12th Doctor telling the first that he has to regenerate and realizing, he has to as well. And this is the moment where he decides whether or not to go on, and it will mark the only time that David Bradley has played a younger version of Jodie Whittaker. So I got a kick out of that as well. So just some nifty little things here and there. Like I said, you were warned if you continued on reading that, all right? So, all right, let's hop into some articles really quick. All right, first off the bat, Moffat trying to chime in on why he's so clever. Bam. Defends his casting of a male doctor as he says this isn't a show exclusively for progressive liberals. And he said that he told the Radio Times how he toyed with the idea of casting a female doctor himself. We could have replaced Matt Smith with a woman, given that his doctor was more sexless and less of a lad, but then I got obsessed with seeing Peter in the Tardis. So admitting he has no regrets with that decision, all he did say he was worried about the show's Daily Mail reading viewers, complaining that it wouldn't be the same person, before adding, this isn't a show exclusively for progressive liberals. This is also for people who voted Brexit. That's not me politically at all, but we have to keep everyone on board. And it goes on and on and on from there. So I'm throwing this up for you. This was over in the Telegraph. And, you know, I love how he's trying to hop on the bandwagon. You see, this might be a good idea. I could have done this. No. You're just copying old ideas from DS9 with the War Doctor. Oh, so that's the part of me who wants to do that damn documentary flipping out. I'm sorry. Oh. And if you ask me what episode, I will look it up. It was already done in DS9, by the way, with the missing incarnation. All right. Moffat unveils his final Who episode and why he reveals why Carey Mulligan said no to the Tardis. I can tell you right now, Oscar-winning actress or award or Oscar-nominated actress. You're never going to see her anywhere near Doctor Who again. But here's some excerpts from the interview. If you read the whole thing, it's in the new issue of the Radio Times on Saturday, the 2nd of December. And basically, he brought it back that there was an idea to bring back Sally Sparrow and whatnot. And, oh, by the way, here's some of the photos. Matter of fact, if you look in the background here, that's the radar station recreated. And so, hey, look, it's the three faces of Hotnell. Hotnell the first, Hotnell the second, and Hotnell the third. So, really interesting stuff right here. Matter of fact, here's the Carey Mulligan, blah, blah, blah. Basically, you know, right here he goes, it's almost certain you'll remember. I don't think she was much of a fan or anything. They liked her so much, they said, do you want to be the next companion? But she said, no. God, she was amazing. So you never tried to get her back in any capacity? No, I know it's a no. Remember, Oscar-nominated actress. You're never seeing her anywhere near Doctor Who again. All right, moving on. Okay, now I threw this in because for you folks who think I made this shit up, here it is right here. This article covers it, CBC Radio, about when, Sidney Newman, by the way. Now I want you to take a deep breath here. Anyone who's doubting the whole Jodie Whittaker thing, who thinks it's a result of SJW influence on political secret agenda. The idea has been around for 31 years. Sidney Newman wrote to the BBC chairman Michael Grade in 1986, quote, this requires some considerable thought, mainly because I want to avoid a flashy Hollywood Wonder Woman, because this kind of heroine with no flaws is a bore. Now give more time than I have now. I can create such a character. As a matter of fact, he said earlier, quote, at a later stage, Doctor Who should be metamorphosed into a woman. That's what I wanted to. So right there, the guy who created the Farquaading show had the idea 31 years ago that this was acceptable. You'll even see, I've shown a clip a billion times of Patrick Troughton saying that he didn't think the Doctor's gender should be limited either. So for you folks who think I'm just yanking this out of my old hiney and you don't want to go up there, trust me, at least not without a small assault weapon and possibly a good recon squad behind you, preferably Rangers or Marines. But there you go. All right, bid for lunch with Russell T Davies. That's right, Gadio. No, that's not obvious. Fabulous. Okay, Gadio, the UK's LGBT radio station, is offering the chance to have lunch with the former Doctor Who showrunner RTD. The opportunity is being offered in aid of the Terrence Higgins Trust, hashtag See Red, appeal for World AIDS Day. The winner has a chance to meet Davies at a central Manchester restaurant for lunch. They'll get an hour with the screenwriter and television producer whose works include Queer as Folk, Bob and Rose, Second Coming, Casanova, the trilogy Cucumber, Tofu, Banana, and Banana, and, of course, the guy who brought back Doctor Who that everybody picks on now. So the location for this will be Australasia in Manchester. Includes your meal on a mutually agreed date before the end of March 2018. Full details right here at the auction website. All right, so if this is interesting to you and you have even the slightest shot in hell, there you go. Okay, now this is one that has me going. I cannot believe that everybody is falling for this hook, line, and sinker. Everybody, now you guys, especially classic fans, some new Who people, you know this, the Valeyard, right? Okay, get ready for this. Somebody's claiming that the guy that Gatiss is playing is going to turn out to be named, or here we go, blah, blah, blah. Mark Gatiss's role as the captain of the Christmas Special has the surname Averlady. Where they're getting this from? But guess what? Now it doesn't take exactly a genius to work it out. But if you rearrange those letters, you get the word Valeyard. Guys, we've had a chance for Omega. We've had a chance, well, we've had Rassilon back. We've had a chance for, like, God knows how many classic villains that would have fit the bill 10 times better than half the ones big bosses we've gotten. You honestly think they're going to pull the Valeyard back out of the closet? Really? But here's the thing. The source of this story, this rumor, and all that is coming from Gallifrey Base. It's coming from Gallifrey Base. And once again, this is like a fan site. I don't want to harp on them too bad, but really? Sorry about that. Oops, I forgot to take that off. My fault. And I think that's the same thing with this one here. Oh, okay. So lots of info we had to process. Boom, boom, boom. But no, if the look, I'm not saying it's impossible, but really they're going to pull an old school villain. They could, because it's Moffat's last hurrah. But the same thing is, at the same time, I'd like to think the Valeyard, the reason why he never really popped up was because that whole timeline was averted. With the Doctor knowing this, knowledge of his future self, that whole timeline got averted. And that's why he never showed up. So, I don't know. Like I said, I just can't believe people are falling for that, especially with a source as unreliable as Gallifrey Base. There were once a handful of people on Gallifrey Base who did actually know what they're talking about, and just about all of them are gone, to be honest with you. So lots of interesting stuff going on. Remember, for now, the Doctor Who Christmas Special is tentatively scheduled at 5:30 p.m. UK. I have an eerie feeling that's going to move. I really don't. That would be really freaking early for them. Omega Files for that will be on the 26th, because I do not believe in hauling people in for a podcast on Christmas Day. I have never done it. I never will do it. I think it's a day to be spent with family, friends, and loved ones. So, okay. So, once again, and oh man, just a bunch of weird stuff going on. Please keep your minds open. Take care. Ta-ta. I'll see you all in the future. Have a great day, folks.